Gentlemen, let me ask you a question, and I want you to be honest with yourself. Are you convinced that waking up 2, 3, even 4 times a night to use the bathroom is just a normal, unavoidable part of getting older? That feeling of being dragged from a deep sleep, stumbling to the bathroom in the dark, and then struggling to fall back asleep, only to have it happen all over again 2 hours later? If you've accepted this as your new reality, I am here today to tell you that you've been misled. For many men over 60, this nightly frustration isn't about your age, it's about your timing. The scary part is that most men are trying to solve this problem in a way that actually makes it worse. They drink less water, thinking it will help, but that only makes their urine more concentrated, irritating the bladder and fueling the problem. But what if the solution wasn't about drinking less, but about drinking smarter? What if a simple, no-cost change to when you drink water could cut those nighttime bathroom trips in half, or even eliminate them completely? I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and as a board-certified urologist with over 25 years of experience, I've helped thousands of men reclaim their sleep, their energy, and their independence. I've sat with men who were exhausted, whose partners were sleeping in another room just to get some rest, and who felt like their own bodies had turned against them. And what I want you to know is this: you are not powerless. Your bladder is not broken. You just haven't been taught the simple rules of hydration that your body needs to follow after 60. In this video, I am going to reveal the 3 biggest hydration mistakes that are stealing your sleep, and then I'll give you the simple, step-by-step strategic hydration plan that I give my own patients. This isn't a theory, it's a proven method that can help you sleep through the night again, often starting within the very first week. So, stay with me, because the secret to a full night's sleep isn't in a pill, it's in your water glass, and I'm about to show you exactly how to use it. Alright, let's start with the most common mistake I see, one that almost every man over 60 makes without even realizing the damage it's doing. I call it the desert and flood cycle. Here's what it looks like. You wake up, maybe have a cup of coffee. You get busy with your day, running errands, working in the yard, spending time with family. You go for hours without drinking much of anything. You don't feel particularly thirsty, so you assume everything is fine. Then, evening comes. You sit down for dinner or to watch TV, and you suddenly realize you've barely had any water all day. So, you try to do the responsible thing. You chug 1, maybe 2 large glasses of water right before bed, thinking you're catching up. Gentlemen, this is one of the worst things you can do for your bladder and your prostate. Here's the simple science. When you dehydrate yourself all day, your kidneys work overtime to conserve every last drop of fluid. This makes your urine incredibly concentrated. It becomes darker, saltier, and full of waste products. This concentrated urine acts like sandpaper on the sensitive lining of your bladder. It causes constant, low-grade irritation. An irritated bladder is a twitchy bladder. It sends, "I have to go," signals to your brain long before it's actually full. Then you flood the system by chugging water at night. Your body, which was in desert mode all day, suddenly has to process a huge volume of liquid. It can't absorb it all efficiently. So, where does it go? Straight to your already irritated bladder, filling it up rapidly and guaranteeing you'll be waking up an hour or 2 later. I had a patient, Frank, a 8-year-old retired accountant. He was a man who lived his life by the numbers. Everything was organized. But his hydration was chaos. He'd have coffee in the morning and then nothing but a sip of water until dinner. Then he'd drink an entire liter of water in the evening while watching the news. He came to me exhausted, getting up 5 times a night. He was convinced he needed prostate surgery. I told him, "Frank, before we even discuss surgery, I want you to try one thing. Stop the flood at night." We put him on a new schedule. Within 2 weeks, he called my office. He was only waking up once a night. He said, "Doc, I feel like a new man. I had no idea I was doing this to myself. This desert and flood cycle doesn't just wreck your sleep. It puts stress on your kidneys and can contribute to prostate inflammation over time. It's a habit that slowly but surely erodes your health. So, let me ask you, and be honest, are you a flooder? Do you find yourself drinking most of your water in the evening to catch up? Type yes or no in the comments below. Your answer might help another man realize he's not alone in this. Now that we've identified the first problem, let's talk about the second mistake, which is directly related. It's starting your day on an empty tank. Think about it. You sleep for 7 or 8 hours. During that time, you're not drinking anything, but your body is still using water. You lose fluid through breathing and light perspiration. Your kidneys are still filtering waste. When you wake up, your body is already in a state of mild dehydration. What do most men do? They reach for coffee. Now, I enjoy a cup of coffee, but it's a diuretic. That means it signals your kidneys to flush out more fluid. So, your very first drink of the day is actively making your dehydration worse. You are starting your day with that same concentrated, irritating urine we just talked about. You are setting your bladder up for a day of irritation and sensitivity from the very first hour. This is where our first solution, our first powerful habit, comes in. I call it the morning reset. It's incredibly simple. Within 20 minutes of waking up, before your coffee, before your breakfast, drink a full 16 ounces, that's about 500 milliliters, or 2 medium glasses of room temperature water. This single action does 3 critical things. First, it immediately rehydrates your body and dilutes your urine. It flushes out the concentrated waste products that built up overnight. This gives your bladder a clean, gentle start to the day, rather than an acidic, irritating one. Second, it kickstarts your metabolism and circulation. Think of your body like a car engine that's been sitting in the cold all night. That morning, water is like turning the key and getting the oil flowing to all the essential parts before you hit the gas. Third, it front-loads your hydration. By getting a good amount of water in early, you're not forced to play catch-up later in the day. You're starting ahead of the game, which makes it much easier to avoid the desert and flood cycle. I had another patient, David, a 5-year-old former construction worker, a tough guy. He told me, "Doc, water is for plants. I drink coffee." He started every day with 2 strong cups of black coffee and wondered why he had urgency issues all day and was up multiple times at night. I challenged him to try the morning reset for just 1 week. He was skeptical. He came back a week later and admitted it. "You were right," he said. "I have more energy in the morning, and I'm not running to the bathroom every hour, and I'm sleeping better." It's that powerful. It's not just about your bladder. It's about setting the rhythm for your entire body for the rest of the day. So, here's my question for you. What is the very first liquid that passes your lips in the morning? Is it water, coffee, or something else? Share it in the comments. There's no judgment here, only learning. We've talked about the mistake of flooding your system at night and the mistake of starting your day dehydrated. The third mistake is a lack of strategy. Most men drink water randomly, with no thought to when their body needs it most and, just as importantly, when it needs a break. This brings us to the second part of the solution, the cornerstone of this whole system, the strategic taper. The rule is simple. Aim to drink 70–80% of your total daily water intake before 6 p.m. Let me repeat that. The vast majority of your fluids should be consumed during your active hours, the morning and afternoon. After your evening meal, you begin to taper off. This doesn't mean you can't have a single drop of water. If you're thirsty or need to take medication, of course, have a small sip. But the days of drinking large glasses of water, iced tea, or juice while watching television are over. Here's the simple logic behind it. This strategy gives your body, specifically your kidneys and bladder, a crucial 4 to 5 hour window before you go to sleep to fully process the liquids you've consumed. Think of it like a factory shift ending. You don't accept a massive new delivery of raw materials 5 minutes before the workers are supposed to go home. You wind things down. You allow the system to clear the production line. Your bladder needs the same courtesy. By stopping significant fluid intake by 6 or 7 p.m., you ensure that when your head hits the pillow, your bladder is calm, comfortable, and most importantly, not filling up at a rapid rate. This is the habit that delivers the most dramatic and immediate results for my patients. Let me tell you about George, a 72-year-old man who loved his wife dearly but had been sleeping in the guest room for 2 years. His constant trips to the bathroom were waking her up, and she was exhausted. He felt immense guilt. His favorite nightly ritual was sitting in his recliner with a huge 32-ounce tumbler of iced tea, which he'd sip on until he went to bed around 11 p.m. He thought it was healthy. We implemented the strategic taper. It was hard for him at first. It was a deep-seated habit. But his motivation was to get back into the master bedroom with his wife. He switched his iced tea to the afternoon and had only a tiny glass of water after dinner. The first night, he only got up twice. By the end of the first week, he slept a full 7 hours without waking up once. His wife called me, overjoyed. She said, "You didn't just fix his bladder, you helped fix our marriage. Your daily hydration plan should look like this. Morning reset. 16 ounces of water right after waking. Daytime hydration. Sip water consistently throughout the day. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Keep a water bottle with you. The 6 p.m. cutoff. Start tapering off. Have your last significant drink with your evening meal. After that, only small sips if necessary. This isn't deprivation. It's strategy. It's working with your body's natural rhythms, not against them. Now it's your turn to reflect. What time do you typically have your last large drink of the day? 8 p.m., 10 p.m., or right before you turn out the lights? Let me know in the comments. Now, I want you to see how these pieces all fit together. This isn't about trying one trick in isolation. The real power comes when these habits work in synergy. Think of it this way. The morning reset is like putting high-quality fuel in your car at the start of a long trip. It ensures the engine runs cleanly and efficiently all day long. It prevents the sludge, the concentrated urine, from building up and irritating the system. The strategic taper, or the 6 p.m. cutoff, is like parking that car in the garage for the night. You turn off the engine and let it rest. You don't keep revving it and pumping gas into it all night long. When you do both, you create a beautiful, balanced cycle. You hydrate your body effectively when it needs it most during the day, and you give your body the peace and quiet it needs to rest and repair at night. You eliminate the desert and flood cycle and replace it with a calm, predictable rhythm. This combination is what allows your bladder to heal from the constant irritation. It's what allows your sleep hormones to work their magic. And it's what gives you back control over your nights and your energy levels. They aren't just two separate tips. They are two halves of one complete, powerful strategy for restorative sleep. Gentlemen, we've covered a lot today. We've seen that waking up constantly at night is not an inevitable sentence of aging. It's often the result of a few simple, fixable hydration mistakes. We learned to avoid the desert and flood cycle, to stop starting the day dehydrated with coffee, and to stop drinking large amounts of fluid late at night. And we replaced those mistakes with a simple, powerful 2-part plan. The morning reset. A big glass of water first thing in the morning to rehydrate and flush your system. The strategic taper. A firm cutoff time for fluids in the evening to allow your bladder to rest. I want you to reframe your goal. Your goal is not to have a perfect night's sleep tomorrow. Your goal is to give your body a chance. It's about taking one small, intentional step today that will pay dividends tonight. So, here is my challenge to you. I don't want you to just listen to this advice. I want you to live it for the next 7 days. I challenge you to follow this plan. 1. Drink 16 ounces of water within 20 minutes of waking up. 2. Drink the majority of your water before 6 p.m. That's it. A simple 1-week experiment. Then, come back to this exact video and share your results in the comments. Tell me if you noticed a difference. Tell me if you slept longer, felt more rested, or had more energy. Type "I'm in" the comments if you're willing to accept this 1-week challenge. I want to see how many of you are ready to take back control of your nights. If this video has been helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It tells YouTube to share it with more men who need to hear this message. Subscribe to the channel for more practical, science-backed advice on men's health after 50. And share it with a friend, a brother, or your father. You never know whose life you might change. Remember, gentlemen, your best years are not behind you. A good night's sleep is the foundation of health, and it is within your reach. It can all start with your very next glass of water. And as always, this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Every man's body is unique. If you are experiencing significant changes, pain, or have personal concerns, please consult with your healthcare provider for personalized care. Thank you for watching. Stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.